Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to share my personal recipe for the absolute ultimate butter biscuit. We're talking about a biscuit that's so luxurious and golden, perfectly crisp, but then it just dissolves the second you dip it into your tea or coffee. It's a truly magical texture, and I'm going to walk you through every single step so you can master it right in your own kitchen.
Right? This is what it's all about. That's the dream biscuit experience. You want that satisfying crunch, that beautiful structure, but you also want a tenderness that just melts away. It's a really delicate balance, and every single step in this recipe is designed to get us to that perfect harmony.
So here's our game plan for biscuit perfection. First, we'll talk about what actually makes a great biscuit. Then, we'll get our ingredients together, create that beautiful dough, I'll teach you the art of piping, and we'll finish it off with a perfect golden bake. Let's get started.
So, what are we aiming for? It's all about balance. A truly great butter biscuit has this perfect marriage of a crisp texture, a rich, buttery flavor, and of course, that beautiful, even golden color that just screams delicious before you even take a single bite. Okay, one of my biggest secrets to success is the flour. I mean it. I always use cake flour because it gives you this incredibly tender, delicate crumb. And the best part? No baking powder needed. But hey, if you can't find it, a good premium all-purpose flour is a great backup. Just make sure you add about a half a teaspoon of baking powder to get that lift. Using the right flour is so key to keeping the butter from separating and really achieving that melt-in-your-mouth texture.
All right, let's gather our ingredient toolkit. I want you to think of these as the foundation of our biscuit. Now, quality is always important, but for this recipe, temperature is absolutely crucial. Getting this right from the very beginning is going to set you up for success. Here are the exact measurements we're going to be working with. We've got our flour, a specific mix of fats, powdered sugar, and yes, sifting it before you weigh it is a big deal. 2 large eggs, some milk, vanilla, and just a pinch of salt to balance out all that sweetness. Remember, in baking, precision is your best friend.
So we need exactly 350 grams of total fat. This is going to be a mix of 300 grams of butter and 50 grams of either ghee or margarine. And here is the most important part. Listen up. Both of these fats have to be cold. I mean, straight out of the refrigerator cold. Don't let them soften. That cold fat is what creates these tiny pockets of steam in the oven, and that's what gives us that light, crispy texture.
Now, for all of you out there who love a little bright, citrusy note in your baking, I've got a fun little trick for you. It's totally optional, but it's a step that I just absolutely love.
This is a personal favorite of mine. Instead of just using orange zest, try dissolving a big spoonful of tang powder into your milk. It gives the biscuits this incredible orange flavor, a beautiful smell, and this lovely warm color. It's such a simple little thing, but wow, it makes a huge difference.
All right, ingredients are ready. It is time for the magic to happen. We're moving on to crafting the dough. This is where we bring everything together and start building that amazing texture that's going to define our final biscuit.
Let's do this. In your mixer, start by whisking that cold butter and ghee just until they start to get creamy. Then, with the mixer running on high, slowly stream in your sifted powdered sugar, and you're going to let this whip for a full 5 to 8 minutes. You'll literally see it transform. It gets lighter, fluffier, almost white. Every so often, stop and scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure it's all getting mixed in. Next, add your eggs, but one at a time, okay? Wait until the first one is totally mixed in before adding the next. Pour in your milk, and then finally add all of the flour at once. Now be ready to stop that mixer the second it all comes together.
And that brings me to the #1 most vital rule of biscuit dough. Do not overmix it once the flour is in. We are not making bread here, so we don't want to develop that gluten. Overmixing will give you tough biscuits. The moment you don't see any more streaks of flour, stop the mixer. I'm serious. That's it. Hands off.
Okay, now that we have this perfect, delicate dough, it's time to give it some shape. We're moving from mixing to the art of piping. This is how we get that classic, beautiful, ridged look that makes these butter biscuits so iconic. For the best results, and this is especially true if you're a beginner, I really recommend a piping tip with this semi-comb shape. It's not too wide, it's not too narrow, it's just right. It gives you those gorgeous, sharp ridges, and, most importantly, it helps the biscuit hold its shape in the oven instead of spreading out into a flat pancake.
When you're piping, I want you to aim for a nice, plump, thick, substantial shape. Think generous. This is what will bake into a biscuit that's perfectly crisp on the outside, but still tender in the middle. If you pipe it too thin, it's just going to dry out completely in the oven and taste kind of hard and bland. So don't be shy.
Here are a few pro tips to make piping a whole lot easier. First, don't overfill your bag. You have way less control. If you're a little nervous, just do a few practice squiggles on a piece of parchment paper. Use a good, heavy baking tray to keep the bottoms from burning. And this is a big one. Try to work in a cool room. A hot kitchen makes your butter soft and the dough gets really sticky and hard to handle.
We've mixed, we've piped, and now we are at the final and most exciting stage, the bake. This is where the oven does its magic, locking in all of our hard work and turning that soft dough into a golden, crispy masterpiece.
Okay, it is absolutely essential that your oven is hot and fully preheated. That initial blast of hot air immediately sets the outside of the biscuit, almost like it's waxing that beautiful pipe design right into place. If your oven is too cool, the butter will just slowly melt, your design will vanish, and you'll end up with flat, sad little discs. So here's how we bake them. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius and let it get fully hot for at least 15 minutes. Bake the biscuits on the middle shelf until the bottoms get a light golden color. Then, you're going to turn off the bottom heat and switch on the top broiler. And now, you have to watch them like a hawk. Seriously, they can go from golden to burnt in a matter of seconds. As soon as they have a beautiful, uniform golden brown color, pull them out. And let them cool completely on the tray. They're going to be fragile when they're hot, but they'll crisp up perfectly as they cool down.
So, if you remember nothing else from today, remember these 4 golden rules for biscuit perfection. 1. Use cold fat. 2. Do not, under any circumstances, overmix the flour. 3. Your oven must be properly hot before that tray goes in. And 4. Choose your flour wisely for that perfect tender bite. These are your absolute keys to success.
Follow these steps, trust the process, and I promise you, you will be rewarded with the most incredible butter biscuits you have ever tasted. So, the only question left is, are you ready to fill your kitchen with that absolutely heavenly aroma? Happy baking!